Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm the host, T Money, and today I'm going to be doing my game recap on the Clippers and the Bulls. So, the Clippers defeated the Bulls 122 to 117. The Bulls currently stand at 22 and 36, 10th seed in the Eastern Conference. You know, this was a good game, good high-speed game up and down the court. I really like what I saw from the young guys. The starting five was Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Montes Buzelis, Lonzo Ball, and Zach Collins. The injury report, there was no Ayo Dosunmu out with a shoulder, no Jalen Smith concussion, no Vucevic with calf tightness, Patrick Williams with a right knee, and for the Clippers, Powell with a knee injury. Starting off, I'm just going to give my opinion on the game. In my opinion, I feel like the Bulls should have did a better job on defense. If a star player gets hot, then we need to do what we have to do to get the ball out of his hands, because that's how he can be effective on the offensive end if he's hot. He needs the ball in his hands, so we need to shoot the pick and roll, and we need to blitz him on the pick and roll, get the ball out of his hand. James Harden had 20 points in the third quarter, ended up getting hot. We ended up losing because of his 20 points in the third quarter. Now, I will say that we competed and we had good ball movement, and we all, we fought back the whole night. It wasn't really like a bad game or anything by them. So let's get straight to it, man. In the first quarter, the Clippers got off to a hot start. They got up on a 11-2 run, which led to a timeout. Now, this is because of the Clippers was turning their defense into offense. So this is why they went on an early run. And the Bulls came back out of the timeout playing very unselfish. It was good ball movement. It was good movement without the ball. It was good passing. We was running a lot of action plays. Zach Collins was the center, had the ball at the top of the key, shooting guard, point guard, setting off screens, cutting to the basket. It was good ball movement after the timeout. Then, Harden and Zubac got into their little groove, into their pick and roll, which was looking dangerous out there. I thought it was going to be a long night on the perimeter as far as that pick and roll game. Both teams played with good pace. It was a good up and down game. Obviously, the Clippers, great defensive team, was trying to match our pace and get us out of our groove so they can set up their defense. The former Bull, Derrick Jones, showed up in that first quarter. I don't know if he had beef towards us or something because we didn't want to re-sign him, but he came out there and showed out in the first quarter with 9 points. Opening up the second quarter, Kobe White had a crazy dunk on Eubanks. That dunk was crazy. The Bulls just couldn't get a stop on defense. We have the 5th worst defense in the NBA, so we're giving up a lot of bucket for bucket, and we can't be doing that because then they get a lead and we can't get a stop, and they stopping us because they are a good defensive team. Amir Coffey had a great game off the bench. He had a tough turnaround jumper, which caused us to call a timeout in the second quarter. The Bulls, after the timeout, the Bulls came out on a 10-2 run and cut the lead down to 49-45. Again, this was a great paced game, great up and down game. I loved watching this fast-paced basketball game. This was a good game. Trey Jones came off the bench, had 5 layups with 10 points in the second quarter. So this cut down the lead to 4. It was 49-45. And the Bulls ended up stepping up their defensive intensity on the perimeter by switching to a zone defense. And then there was great passing. There was great ball movement. That's the type of offense we should have been running the whole night. The Bulls also scored 30 points in the paint and played with a little bit more urgency towards the end of that second quarter. The Bulls in the second quarter had 18 assists, which led to 22 made field goals in the second quarter. That is beautiful basketball. That's what I want to see. So at the half, the Bulls was up by 1 point. It was 59-60. And the Bulls ended the quarter with 26 points in the paint. That was great basketball. That was great cutting, great movement. It was just fun to watch this game. Some of the leaders at the half, Amir Coffey had 14 points off the bench, and Zach Collins led us with 16 points and 8 rebounds. So coming into the third quarter, Kawhi Leonard, who I thought wasn't playing, was on a minutes restriction, so he really didn't get that much time on the floor. But in the third quarter, Kawhi Leonard came out, and he was looking for his shot, man. He was isoing, getting in the mid-range, getting into his groove, which is, as a Kawhi Leonard fan, I love to see that. He back. So that was good for them. But then the Clippers, like I said, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Clippers defense ranked 3rd in the NBA, was turning their defense into offense and went on a 6-0 run early in the third quarter. And in my opinion, the Bulls should have put Harden in a couple backdoors, a couple screens, make him work on defense. Harden is not a good defensive player. We're relying too much on the three-point shot. When you're going up against a lackluster defensive player like Harden, you put him in as many actions as you can and make him work on both ends. I did not see that. I'm not sure what the game plan was, but that just would have been my game plan. Zach Collins had a great start today. He's a high energy guy. I love the way he plays positionless basketball. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can pass, he can do everything. He was, running that play action in top of the key. It was a lot of good players moving without the ball. He was finding the shooters in the three-point line in the third quarter. We made more threes in the third, but once again, the Bulls' lackluster defense cannot play bucket for bucket. We have to get stops. If we're going to score, we have to get stops on that end. We cannot just allow them to score, and we score. We're not going to win like that. That's not how we're going to win. 17 lead changes in the third quarter. And then in the third quarter, Harden caught fire, ended up scoring 20 points in the quarter alone. This is what I'm saying. If he's going to score that much, make him work on defense. We have to still guard him like he's an elite player. We cannot have him in ISO matchup. We had to blitz him off the screen and make him pass, get the ball out of his hands. He was making some tough three-pointers. We had to still guard him like he's an elite level player, an elite threat on offense. And in my opinion, we just had too many turnovers in that third quarter. We was coming up empty-handed on a couple of possessions because the defense was bothering us. They was running us off the three-point line, and Harden was coming down, just cooking. The Bulls entered the fourth quarter down 98-93. Both teams started off with turnovers, which was crazy. And Billy Donovan called an early timeout because we wasn't really playing defense like that. And this is what I like about Billy Donovan is that he coaches them hard. He doesn't stop coaching. That was a good sign that he preaches defense in his coaching philosophy. I like that about Billy Donovan. So the Clippers start closing out the three-point line on us, and everybody knows that the Bulls is a high-volume three-point shooting team. So with that being said, if we're getting running off the three-point line, we have to get back to the fast-paced rebound and get the ball and go, and don't let the Clippers set up their defense because they are a very great defensive team. A lot of wing players they get their hands in the passing lane. They, trap if they have to, and they all give great effort on defense. Every player from 1 through 5. So Tre Jones ended up coming into the game. He had 13 points off the game, and this is his 6th game as a Bull. Tre Jones had a great game, and the Bulls ended up switching back into their zone defense, which helped us. So Josh Giddey ended up hitting 4 for 4 threes by the time it was the fourth quarter, and this is what I love to see from him. Improve shooting, improve defense, because these are the 2 points of his weaknesses when he got to Chicago from OKC. So after Josh Giddey hit a 3, Zach Collins came down and had a dunk. And then on the other end, Kawhi hit a tough three-pointer at the shot clock ended. And in my mind, when Kawhi made this shot, I was like, bro, if Harden got it going and he gets going, we just don't have a chance. This is too much star power. Luckily, Kawhi was on the minutes restriction, so he didn't really get off how I thought he would. Tre Jones, shout out Tre Jones, came down, hit a 3, cut the lead to 3 points. And I like the combination of a Giddey and Collins pick and roll. That pick and roll was consistent all night. I love to see it. It was a pretty intense, close game, but it was also a seesaw game. It was also bucket for bucket. I wish the Bulls would have got the ball out of Harden's hand because he was really the difference maker tonight. So in the fourth quarter, Harden hits a dagger 3 to put the Clippers up by 6 points, 120-114 with 14 seconds left. This ties his season high 7 3-pointers made up until this point. So then Kevin Huerter comes down, shoots a wild 3-pointer. He misses. We have to foul. It was pretty much ball game after that. We were just playing a free throw game. And, Kobe White ended up hitting a 3 at the end, but it really didn't matter. And the Bulls ended up losing 122-117 to the Clippers at home. So these are some game highs for the game. Zach Collins finished with 21 points, 17 rebounds. Giddey finished with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Tre Jones had 16 points off the bench. Harden had 30 points, 6 assists. My goodness. Kawhi had 17 points on the minutes restriction. And Amir Coffey with 20 points off the bench. Maybe if we could have stopped Harden and Coffey, we would have probably had a better chance at winning this game. And the game grade, I'm going to give this game a B+ because we still went out there and we fought and we was resilient. We fought all the way to the end. People were just making tough shots. Big-time players make big-time plays, and that's what it came down to. That will be all for my recap. Thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe.